Hi, Coach Luca, back here with Coach's Corner. And again, we're gonna go over different exercises, ones that I think are great, kind of like part of that kind of toolbox of the best exercises to consistently use. And one of those is Bulgarian split squats. So we're gonna break down form, we're gonna break down tools, because like I said, I love this kind of split squat stand. I'm getting tongue tied right here, but this you can get from Perform Better. But I know a lot of gyms and a lot of places don't have that. And so most people will use the bench, but I don't like the bench, and I'll show you guys why not and how you can modify that even at a gym. So first off, like Bulgarian split squats tend to get just kind of crushed when it comes to form. So I'm gonna just show you guys in body weight style, like what we're looking for, okay? So number one, I'm going to put my foot back, and what's gonna happen is that like I want to have this foot really be soft, right? I'm gonna have majority of my weight on this front leg, and this is how I try to kind of set it up, is I'll just lift up the foot. So now I know this is how it feels, right? So I'm not leaning on that back foot, creating a lot of tension through that back foot. So I'm here, and I tend to not like people completely locking out their knee for a number of reasons, right? It'll hyperextend their low back. If they have hypermobility, they'll kind of overextend that knee too. So just the soft knee is great, okay? We like to get a little bit of a lean. So there's not necessarily a right or wrong, because you'll see Bulgarian split squat where somebody's very upright, okay? And you'll see ones where there's a lean. In general, I like to have a little bit of a lean, like maybe 5 degrees, right? Lift off, so I know that that load is on the front foot. And then I'm going to pull myself down into this position and then drive up. And you kind of see I have a little bit of a shin angle here, okay? Now I like this variation because it hits everything. Hamstrings, glutes, quads, right? I'm sitting into my hip. You can see the shin angle, that 5 degrees, boom, and I'm coming up, not locking out the knee. Now a couple of things here that we also want to kind of talk about, right? You will see this happen a lot. See how my hip is turning out, okay? So my hip's turning out, I'm going down. But look at my pelvis, it's pointing in that direction, okay? So I want to make sure this knee is down, pointing to the ground. Okay, this is very helpful. This back butt cheek, I'm trying to squeeze it a bit. I'm trying to brace my abs. So I have this good square hips, and always what I try to say is like, think of this as railroad tracks, right? You don't want it to be a tightrope. So tightrope means that my foot's going to be behind here, and I'm going to be all wacky. You also don't want it to be too far out wide, okay? So you want to be railroad tracks, keeping that knee down, because the compensation tends to be that hip turning out. Okay, so it's down, braced, 5 degrees, lift off so you know you're on the front leg. If I got dumbbells, I'm going here, okay? Now, same thing. If I had a sandbag, kettlebells, front rack position barbell, I'd probably be a little bit more upright. Barbell, same thing, okay? So I want to make sure that I feel my foot, and I honestly prefer to go with Bulgarians, shoes off if possible. You can grip the floor better, have better stability. But think about feeling both your big toe, this part right here, little toe, and the heel. So it's like a tripod. Every part of your foot, you should feel it equally. Sometimes if we're checking form, we'll say, hey, push through the heel, just because a person is getting kind of like on their toes and their heel's coming off the ground, we'll say push through the heel, and that'll level it out. But also, you'll see kind of like the rolling of the foot. I'm always going to say push through that big toe. That big toe is going to kind of align things a lot, okay? So kickstand, certainly favorite. There's a bunch of different places you can get it. Here's why I don't like, I would say, the bench, which a lot of people would do it on. So if I open up my foot like this on the bench, I tend to be able to get pretty low on here, okay? But for most people, as soon as they come up, if they have tight calves and Achilles, they'll have a cramp. Bottom of the foot, calf, Achilles, and it'll just make it difficult to do this well, okay? So that's why I don't like this. Now, if you go toe up like this, now you got 2 restrictions. One, if you have stiff toes, which most people do, you'll get to here, and you can't really go that low, okay? But also, the restriction of your ankle dorsiflexion is limiting you too. So I can't really even go that low and load my glute up like I want to. So a great way to do it is, if you're at the gym, you get a barbell, get one of the pads for the squatting or hip thrusting, and now I'm just gonna go put my foot back up here, leans over, I don't have to worry about that. And I can have that same setup, right? I can lift my foot, okay? I can get that 5-degree angle, brace, okay? And I can get my depth just the way that I want to, okay? So I'm gonna do a quick, I would say, set on one side, just so you guys can see this. And just understand, because sometimes people are like, well, is it better to have this foot further out? Is it better to have it close? Everybody's got a little bit different anatomy, right? Longer limbs, so on and so forth. So you kind of got to find your spot. And further out, right? And if I'm upright, like this is going to be a little bit more quad dominant, right? But if I bring it in and I can sit in and I get a little bit of lean and I sit into the hip, this is going to be a little bit more hitting the glutes, right? So it's just the emphasis. The one that I showed you at first is the one I really like. Another little tweak is, and I'm going to just use this remote here. Actually, I'll do the shoelace even better. Is that when you set your, and you can have anything here. Once I set it up, boom, I just have something in front of me. So once I do the set on one side, I can have the equal on the other side, right? Because you'll see a lot of this where one person will do one side, or the foot will be here, the second one will be here. Now we got this weird stagger going on, and we're not leveling, right? So, because asymmetries are a big thing. So I'm just gonna do this one set. Like I said, we're always looking for control. I'm feeling my whole foot here, right? Making sure my hips are square. Remember, railroad tracks. I'm crushing the dumbbells, bracing my abs, getting about 5-degree, lifting off, making sure I have that front leg loaded, good. Pull myself down, feel the whole foot, push up, do not lock out, right? Control. Okay, so that's how you get the absolute most out of your dumbbell Bulgarians. Make sure you have good form. Like I said, this is a fantastic exercise that you should have in your program. See you next time, showing you some exercises in form. Coach Luca's out.